where the sun never shines, and we shivered when the that would be, I think, an idea for the slow drag, faded bluegrass. I play a little slower. You know, I was at a show and I asked Ralph Stanley if I could sing White Doves, because Old and Way had recorded it.
Yeah.
You know, and Jerry sang it in the deep rolling hill of old Virginia. Up there with Ralph, and it's like in the deep rolling hills of old Virginia. It's like, whoa. Hey man, I've been on the West Coast.
And those are playing with the thumb pick, a la Farmer and...
Yeah, this is how bluegrass guitar was played originally. And I defy anyone to play faster than you can play like this with a flat pick. Because, okay, this is how Lester Flatt and Carter Stanley played, and Jimmy Martin, too, until Vassar Clemens told me he watched fiddler Chubby Wise teach Jimmy Martin to play with a flat, because he wanted that sound. Because Chubby Wise, the original bluegrass fiddler, had a whole pizzicato thing he did, and he used a pick. He'd hold the fiddle like this and play tunes. And this blew my mind. Vassar said, yeah, he watched that. Vassar was also a student of Chubby Wise. He would replace Chubby. That was Bill's first full-time protege, you know, after Chubby Wise. And so,
Didn't Jim Schumate come there?
I think Jim was before Chubby.
Okay.
Or maybe, you know, there are a lot of guys back at that time. I'm not sure of comings and goings.
Howdy Forrester was also...
Howdy Forrester was there, but that was early, yeah. And they say that his wife was named Billy Sue Forrester, but there can only be one Bill Monroe. There can only be one Bill in the Bill Monroe band, so they changed her name to Sally Joe instead of Billy Sue. Like you can't have two Bills. But about this technique, this is one of the reasons the Stanley Brothers material early on sounded so unique is because they were both playing with two fingers. Ralph didn't have the three-finger roll, the Earl Scruggs roll down, so he was playing this crazy mountain style with just one thumb, a thumb and one finger. And so normally, like a flat picking thing that Bill began to prefer for clarity's sake, and also different. He just wanted things to be different. It would be like, you know, a bass note and a strum. Which is very clear. But this way, it's a little more lilt. And if you play Orange Blossom Special with a flat take, you're going to be like this. Here on the come in. It's a backward stroke, but it's also the basic of flamenco guitar playing. The old timers before Paco de Lucia and Sabicas, using all their fingers to play like incredible arpeggios. The old time players, mostly backed up singers, you know, with the whole thumb, you know. And so I thought that's the origin of the guitar, Spain, that formed any sort of 6-string version. So I decided to go back to playing the old style, especially when I was doing Carter Stanley songs. But you can play at such a crazy tempo, and the banjo sounds fabulous, plays really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we hear a lot of medium tempo things now. That's the medium tempo bluegrass song. But you don't hardly hear any of this like stuff that sounds like the train's going off the rails, and it's so exciting, right? But because nobody can play that fast. So you need a guitar guy to do this, and at this speed, you know, riding on the New River train, riding on the New River train, train that brought me here, carried me away. Well, it also doesn't require you to do this, and then you have to ice your arm afterwards like a baseball pitcher, pitch 9 innings, you know? Because you're only using your hand, and then it's for songwriting, of course. You're down in the groove, or like in a different place. It's kind of like going back, I think in my mind, it's just like going back to the origin of the flamenco. And I love the fact that those early guys, they weren't all about the flat, they were all thumbs. Right? You gotta be all thumbs, folks.
Walls of time.
Over walls of time.
Yeah, if you will.
So the song evolved and had a life of its own, and it was our sort of bond between us. But I won't say that I didn't make mistakes as a bluegrass boy and sort of become on the outs. But Bill Monroe hated managers. So here I was coming along as a guitar player. This dear old Ralph said, I'm going to work a little more with Doc. Do you think you can handle Bill do his bookings? Bill hated wizards. He hated anybody who was going to tell him what he should do, even though, you know, because he felt exploited by the music business. So I had to, not a good role, but on a happier note, I did feel quite honored that he seemed to be accepting my contributions to this song. And because in his imagination, you know, he had already had these, like tombstones were already part of the visual world of bluegrass. You know, there's a little lonesome graveyard on the tombstones, it said, all mothers gone but not forgotten, on dads we'll meet again someday. That's memories of mother and dad. So in the Walls of Time, I was introducing really themes from his own imaginary world. You know, I thought a lot about it. You know, I'm like, wow, what the world was all that about. Yeah. So here we go, the Walls of Time. And I thought, you know, instead of, you know, playing the wind is blowing across the, which would adequate and fine, I just thought this position, because this is the Lightning Hopkins fingerings. So I thought, that's the first run through that, never been used before in bluegrass music. Very major, even if you're singing a minor modal harmony. You know, that's one of the key tones. The ancient tones is the suspension, and you're playing a major. But so you've got, you wouldn't do, we all have, of course, because why not? It sounds good. But like the strict hard fast rule is you sing minor over major. And Jerry Garcia himself said, when somebody asked him, what do you attribute the success of the Grateful Dead to? with large crowds, and he said, major keys. But because, you know what I mean, they don't leave you kind of movie like a minor key does. You know, it's like a minor key is. So the Walls of Time is in a minor key and a minor melody played in a major key. So you have this in bluegrass. The wind is blowing across the mountain, and down over the valley way. Big streams of grave of my darling. When I die, that's where I wanna go. That's
Yeah.